Open that. Start. What's up? Are you gonna work? Yeah. Are you actually going to work? I mean, 7 seconds. There are like actually 10 seconds of delay. Amazing. Let me start the timer then. And now Discord. This share, copy. I can close this, mute this, activate this too, and play this, and add this plus boy 6. There we go. Now, what's the next step? Great question. I have no clue. We are okay. I am in the correct category, so that's good. The right category. Det är inte allt det same. You get what I mean. I know. I need to open Bing. Bing, my beloved. I copy this stuff here. I mute this. And I open this to be a little bit weird. There we go. That's close this. We have, let me see. As always, is audio fine? To some extent it has to be fine, like, yeah, it seems to be working. What? Why does it say that I am lagging? Whatever you say, brother. Not OBS, even like my PC. The Wi-Fi thing, the access to internet thing shows that I have the worst signal possible. Can happen, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm ready, I think. I'm providing something this. There we go. Green screen, amazing. And there has to be something else. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Yes. Yeah. We're good. Supposedly. Allegedly. I have to put volume on the game. That's what I have to do. Yeah. Great observation, yes. And as always, try to get all the chats coordinated. What a wonder. Internet, my beloved. Here. Where am I? Where was I? What? I love. One of my favorite functions is the Discord for phone being an absolutely random machine. Sometimes when you open it, in my case I land in the most random channel possible, like in a random channel, in a random server itself. Amazing. It's free. Can we really complain? Should we? We can. We should. No, we shouldn't. But we can. True. Now, everything is in its place, I think. So, we are good. Supposedly. We will see. So, let me go and get some hydration liquid, aka water. I mean, yeah, unavoidably. You can say hydration liquid, and there are so many possibilities for that. You can not at all be talking about water. So, yeah. It's actually good to say water. Wow. Also, why is the volume low? Like, am I not speaking with any strength whatsoever. What's the issue? I am the problem. No. The position is fine. I have no clue why it doesn't sound as strong. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, let me take my quote unquote break. It's not a break. I need to get water. So yeah, see you in 10 minutes. Bye. Wait. No, I didn't unmute. Welcome. Uh, Now for real, there we go. Something else. I might be forgetting something. Does it really matter? Probably. Probably, and I will regret not having done anything about it. But not yet to really worry. Anyways, 3, 2, 1. Good morning. No. Yeah, it has been a little bit since the last time that we have been here, so yeah, I guess we're basically going to continue playing Path of Exile, not much else really. I feel like we have been on a good track with all of that. I mean, unavoidably, it's a game that I enjoy playing, so I played off camera and whatnot. It's not like I would not play it otherwise, so it's the same. For me, it's literally the same. And I feel like, yeah, it's something interesting. The issue is still, how are we actually doing in terms of the world and whatnot? Ah, great question. I think we're not so well to some extent. It's quite, I wouldn't say average, but yeah, it's quite problematic to have such a world of that sort existing in terms of perhaps it can very easily fail somehow. So we still have a lot of ahead of us about, yeah, in terms of trying to make it work finally. So I don't know. We will see, basically. We will see. The point is, sorry, I was cleaning my glasses. That's why I was here for so long. Let me activate the. I closed the. I I love the function of hitting escape closes the game. To some extent, it's something that I actually want. I mean, it's wonderful to have that thing available to you. You know, some games are so difficult to close. It's annoying, but this one isn't. In that sense, it's the complete opposite. So quick to close, but I didn't mean to do that. So yeah, let me come here. We are basically here. Good evening. I realized something. I had all of these other characters. I don't even remember if that happened like here or where. But I mean here or while I was offline, but I realized I don't really need all of those other characters. I don't really plan on playing on standard that much. But in doing so, I forgot that I had some incredibly old characters which carried with them stuff. It's much different when you play in what's the name? In standard. You get the possibility of asking for things more. What is it? Efficiently, more properly, rapidly, something along those lines. And yeah. It happens that you can ask for stuff and you are actually given some help to some extent, and yeah, it's I lost some of those items. Do I even know what I lost? No, I don't, but I guess the capacity to remain grieving that thing which you don't even know about that much in terms of yeah, this thing could have potentially been something. I don't even know what it was at this point. I just know that it was something, but yeah, I have no clue whatsoever. Also, wait. I did forget that. I have a beautiful problem with remembering to close the chat. But true, anyways, we are good enough. And yeah, today, I don't know, it has been a good handful of days. I think, yeah, I'm quite happy in terms of, yeah, we have a button here compared to this, yeah, this part is closed. Compared to many other times, we didn't really get anywhere in comparison, so it's nice. And now we're also in a pretty good role in many ways, figuratively speaking, so that's nice too. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like perhaps this time things, not they will be different, they will be better, basically. In many times you say things are different, and unavoidably they are different, but it doesn't really mean that they are better. They are so absolutely different in so many ways that it's impossible to actually understand, to think out them as truly something all that influential in any one direction. But in this case, yeah, I think that we are headed towards something great, basically. And yeah, I am happy. I'm happy. I guess we're gonna see. Also, it's lagging yet again. I love this video, man. It's lagging actually so much. Wow. But whatever. Between yesterday stream and today, I only gained like 1 level, so we are not that far away compared to before. Last time I did have, I wouldn't say an issue, but I did have that whole thing of, I think I gained 3 or 4 levels, 5 even, before stream, and that was quite a lot. But now we don't have that much. Wow, all of this stuff, really? Also wait, I forgot to, I think I have a solution, wait, I have a solution, let me do this, there we go. It's easier that way, to simply sing out of too early. it's way too annoying to have to go ahead and deactivate it. And yeah, it's suddenly, I don't know how. I know that it happens sometimes. It's a setting that some people can utilize in terms of. I know that by clicking this, it won't directly show any of that, but I don't know. Perhaps it is because of how I capture the game. Who knows? Point being, we are good. So, but yeah, I was saying that I am so far not that much distant from what happened the last stream. Okay, there are some significant, I don't know if they are significant, there are some differences basically, and they more than anything else are related to the whole aspect of yeah, here we have also, why do I have this stuff? I don't need this. I have this already, no? Yeah, I have this. This, I have it in case of being able of selling, but I was checking, it actually is so difficult to get to sell anything. I think you can't sell without having like a merchant or something like that. There is this guy. Is the guy that you talk to sell stuff, but you need to always have like a merchant stuff or something of that sort. So yeah. Point being, doesn't matter. We are fine as we are. Also, I did lag a little bit actually in this case. Interesting. I guess we might actually have some problems, I think so, but perhaps, who knows. Anyways, I haven't thinking about how to fix the world, but out of that is not that much different from where we left last time still, so yeah, we will see how to go out of that. Anyways, point is, we're there we go, crafting a recipe. We are advancing slowly. This thing, I have to activate this. Silk, there we go. I have to go here. I have to do the whole Maligaro encounter. Yeah, I remember this area. I think that this is one of the few areas that, in a way, stayed with me the most due to its whole visual appearance. It is so absolutely different from everything else that it's almost impossible to forget, so to speak. But it's good. It's not like, oh no, it happens that I see it and I feel like it's horrible or something like that. No, I just happen to see it and be like, wow, amazing. It's actually a lacking design in many other cases. I don't feel like there are that many visually striking areas like this one. But anyways, point to me. But yeah, we're so far very good. And I don't know, life? it has been pretty good. I feel like unavoidably having had the opportunity of being here is quite good. I'm asking myself a lot actually what we will go back to. I wasn't really, for example, expecting to be capable of being here with this much, I wouldn't say, yeah, let's call it, what's the proper word? Consistency? I wasn't expecting to have that much consistency myself. I was actually expecting to be here a lot less, but it's not like, oh no, it's so bad to be here consistently. It's actually, yeah, quite enjoyable. But the question is still like, what will come after that in terms of how to go about this very same question in a different way, so to speak, you know? And how to keep possessing that consistency once we are done with this. I don't think I am going to make it. It's not like I don't think so. I am asking myself, I know that it won't happen. I feel like unavoidably we're going to try to go back to something else some days down the line. Perhaps at the middle of next week or so. I need to do some leveling of camera. Not particularly leveling, but more like adjusting the whole world in in an entire way, and that is going to take a lot of time. But to be honest, it's not like Path of Exile as a whole. I guess you could say you have hundreds of hours of content for every single character that you make, but at the very same time, it's not like unavoidably all of that content is what you will actually want to do. To be a completionist is one thing, but I don't really like being a completionist myself. I don't really enjoy the whole prospect of, yeah, let's now make sure that we utilize as much time as possible in seeing everything that there is to see and discovering all the stuff that is offered around here, you know. I don't really think that much about it in that sense. I'm happy, yeah, that we can see stuff and whatnot, but it's not like, oh no, we have to experience everything. Doesn't really matter in my eyes most of the time. Besides the handful of things, I can say it like that. I wanted to, for example, experience something along the lines of getting to finally see how it feels to win against an enemy such as the whole, I don't even know what's the proper name, but the hardest normal challenge, the Vtuber encounter with multiple enemies, something like that basically. And to do that is going to be interesting, but I don't think that I am going to unavoidably have the capacity of doing all of that always, in terms of I know that there is a lot of grinding when you try to do something like that, and I understand the notion, but I don't like it. I can understand the concept. It doesn't mean that I will try to do it or anything like that. I'm not really willing to play for 80 hours just to get one particular map going. There are, in that sense, it is that I go back to the whole notion of there are so many possibilities. Is it truly necessary to put oneself through all of that just for the sake of getting this one achievement? I don't think it matters all that much. It does matter to some extent, but it's not really, oh yeah, the whole reason, the ether, so to speak. It's good enough, but yeah, it's a start. Good enough. But what the fuck? What killed me? We will see. We will see how it goes. Also, this is a map in terms of how it works, of mechanics. I wasn't expecting that. I wonder how it applies. This is good, but this is even better. So I think I'm going to go for this one. Yeah, this one. I have this one. So with this one, I got this thing. For example, this was the only point that I got, and with this, the wood in general has gained a lot of effect. Quite good. And yeah, we still have a lot of things to improve on, but it's slowly getting there, becoming even more optimal and whatnot, so happy about all of that. And I don't know, I am still so, I wouldn't say confused by, but asking myself exactly how to go about the whole prospect of, okay, these are the next things that should be happening, these are the next things that we should be making sure occur, these are the next goals to fulfill and whatnot, and it's in some way quite difficult to exactly pinpoint how to keep on progressing with all of that, I guess, yeah. But it is still good. Is anything... I got to experience this thing. This just makes you clear even faster, but it's not like a really substantial difference in any meaningful way. Once again, it's just faster, clearer speed, which, if you don't care about, might as well be, or mean, nothing, so... It's good enough, but not really that impressive. And I don't know. Okay, let me Anyways, we're not here for the states this much. I haven't tried to think out this stuff, and I have been having a lot of difficulties in many ways, but it's not like because there are difficulties, it means that it is impossible to think out anything. One of the most, I guess, in that sense, as a meta commentary, I tend to, in many cases, utilize the whole notion of, yeah, this is a beautiful thing as a sarcastic remark. In this case, I think it is something actually beautiful. The possibility of being capable of understanding, thinking out that which might be to some extent troublesome to yourself, and with that, doing anything. Not because it might be problematic to think about giving up on the whole prospect of even trying to think about those very same things, you know? And in doing so, it's that I have gotten in so many areas throughout life. It's always a wonderful thing to do, to try. And yeah, I can say that I pretty much enjoy doing that. So yeah, point being here, I feel like unavoidably something that I have encountered more and more. And not just in terms of, oh yeah, I have encountered and nothing else, but also I can accept as a thing. I feel like unavoidably much of what I experience, so to speak, also has to deal with in conversations with other people. I find it a rather way too common event to not really try to have anything exist. There is such a, I wouldn't say friction, there is such a degree of absence of conversations of any sort, of any conversation of this sort in which you try to talk out anything quote unquote deep, you know? And what? Can you give me look here? Okay, again, nothing, thank you. And in that sense, yeah, it is that I feel that unavoidably there is such a degree of, oh wow, nothing really changes or nothing really gets modified or whatever, and it's understandable enough to some extent. It's hard. My point is, it's hard to have conversations most of the time about quote-unquote deeper topics with people. There is such an expectancy to not have those things at all occur. I find it more than anything else, yeah, frustrating, but understandable at the very same time. The whole prospect of, yeah, we cannot really afford to try to talk, to compare us out these things. It's not really a possibility that we have or a chance that we should try to capitalize on. And yeah, having progressed, quote-unquote progressed, having simply continued to think out the stuff myself, I go back and look at it as an interesting question in terms of, wow, really, I myself also have allowed that to happen, in terms of I could try to make other people also have those very same conversations with me. It's not like it is directly impossible to make people talk. There is something wonderful that happens is, in many cases, there is the initial layer of we believe that it might be bad to have those kind of conversations at all. So just because of that, we don't have anything of that sort exist. But at the very same time, there is also this other layer of, but sadly, it can also happen that we all assume that it is so, without really knowing if it is the case. And personally, we would love to have the opportunity of talking about different things, while in reality the issue ends up being that, once again, we all assume, we all expect, reduce it down to, yeah, this is how we have always acted, this perhaps might be the way in which we should keep acting out this thing. And to such an extent that is the case that I end up feeling like, unavoidably, there are a lot of ignored things because of that. And there are a lot, not just of ignored things, there are also a lot of aspects about the person that end up being forgotten in the whole process of, yeah, I don't really need to have these things exist. I don't really need to be concerned about these things myself, you know? I have no obligation for that to happen. I can do something else. and that something else is much better than any of this thing, any of this sort, basically. And that becomes so much the accepted thing that at some point it actually ends up being actually damaging to normalize that degree of absence from those meaningful conversations, possibly doable conversations, basically. But more than anything else, with the whole prospect of, because it can happen to the degree to which I have realized sometimes the mere possibility of asking people about what they might like, what they might think about stuff, what they might care about and what not, is already a good enough initiator for the whole underlying notion or for the whole then brought forward aspect of, yeah, and these people are actually capable of telling me more things. This person actually has a lot of thoughts about these situations, these issues, this whatever they are. But I personally might have not paid any attention whatsoever to what they had to say, to what could have possibly been, what this other person, to what this other person thought, whatever. And I feel like unavoidably, to some extent, the exact word not doesn't have to be that, but to simplify it, it's quite disgraceful to realize that, yeah, perhaps myself also perpetuated this very same thing in the conversation with others, in the encounter with others. And not because I want to, but simply because, once again, that's the normal thing to see. No one really has to care about what we say or what we experience or whatever, so it ends up then happening that, no one actually tries to create anything of that sort. But it's, I don't know, I guess I'm trying to be observant of it once again. Trying to go back to the whole root of, I know that people around me cares about some things. I should also be trying to pay some attention to what happens so that I can bring forward those encounters with this other potentiality, so to speak. Because in the end, one of the you can take it from the perspective of one of the most beautiful things that happens in the world is once you can actually ask about the stuff, you are not exactly that word, but confronted by the reality of, by asking, I am actually given answers to things to the degree to which I get to understand. But the issue is always going to be to ask about anything at all. I actually need to ask, and that is difficult in itself because I have somewhat gotten incredibly accustomed to the whole aspect of never having that happen, never having that exist, so to speak, never making that be real. I don't need to really interact with others. I don't have a reason to have that happen, so to speak. I don't need to move myself in that direction. It should not at all happen. Also, wait. You know what, man? We're going to do this. Take into consideration that I can actually do this thing well enough. We're going to do this. I can actually clear so good all of this stuff. I have no need to avoid it, actually. It's just that, I don't know, the mechanics, sometimes, I guess the biggest issue really is how you associate with all the mechanics yourself. They might seem incredibly daunting, so to speak, but it's more about learning how to navigate all the encounters and whatnot than really what they are in themselves. And that is quite difficult to grasp, in essence. The whole notion of, I can have this make more sense or not so much. Okay, how that? No. Good enough. But yeah, I was trying to say that the whole notion of first and foremost, once you actually ask out this stuff, you're given the possibility of understanding, knowing, encountering, and getting to receive what that other person might hold within themselves, so to speak. But once again, the issue is to first and foremost ask for anything. The normalized thing is that no, it shouldn't really happen. Not because it even is bad, simply because it's not necessary for anyone to have that happen. You truly have no necessity to care about things and what's not. And I guess things. There we go. And yeah, it's difficult. Once again, it's difficult to deal with all of that, because in the end, the normal thing is for one to not really try to care, for one to not really try to do anything out all of that. While in the end, when you try to do that, when you go ahead and seeing which way it might matter, it might possess some sort of importance or whatever, you are confronted by that whole thing of, wow, I actually might have so much in front of me of something that I cannot really grasp fully. When I ask for things and the person provides me, I am overwhelmed by the realization that, yeah, this person was actually quite eager to show at all anything about this thing. The issue is that by having asked, I have now opened the possibility, the door to, perhaps I don't even know what we are going to be talking about. Perhaps the answer that I'm going to get is not going at all to be what I was expecting to some extent, so to speak. And that is, I don't want to say daunting, but it's simply, yeah, strange to think about in terms of, oh yeah, I'm going to see something that is going to surprise me and whatnot. And all of that is strange in its most basic form. Yeah, it's something actually strange to have in mind in terms of, oh yeah, I know that the day in which I decided to ask out something, I might get an answer. It's not so much about me being absolutely lost in a world in which no one gives me anything, but to ask out things is also quite surprising, because I end up being confronted with the reality of this person might actually have wanted to share this thing for so long. This person might have actually had an interest in demonstrating, not even the whole notion of, oh yeah, the performative demonstration, but rather more along the lines of simply they could, so they wanted to give something of what they had in themselves to others, so to speak, and that's good, basically. But that is at the very same time such a strange encounter that one most of the time ends up not really knowing what to do with all of that, because it's not every day that you see somebody really willing to give you, I wouldn't say a lesson, but truly that degree of, I guess, cognition, that degree of knowledge about something. And that is strange. It becomes an strange encounter most of the time, because in the end, yeah, it is, I guess it is, because it is really not something that you expect to see, and when you actually have it in front of you, it becomes quite a surprising thing in many ways, really. And it's hard to always deal with that. Once again, I say this more than anything else from the perspective of, I feel like, I guess you have the possibility, not exactly the responsibility, but at the very least the possibility of trying to create, of bringing forward something of that sort, And it's quite sad to see that, yeah, it's not something that we care about, I guess. that we don't really try to make it exist, that it is not something that we share or that we discuss or that we try to once again demonstrate or anything like that. The notions always stay in that perspective of, yeah, it can be whatever. It doesn't really matter. It can be whatever. And it could be anything. It doesn't really possess any importance whatsoever. What we do, how well we do it, how bad we do it. It is, once again, anything. The point is just having those conversations in terms of talking out anything. Doesn't really matter about why, what. And in doing so, yeah, unavoidably there is that degree of, really, I don't think so. Unavoidably I prefer to have certain kinds of discussions, but unavoidably I also, more than anything else, I think that the other person also possesses their particular importance, degree of interest, and their capacity to actually. There is this whole notion of, I cannot, even if I want to, I cannot really talk out some things because I know that I am an absolute outsider to those topics, that I am not somebody in the position of saying anything, that no matter how much I try to tell myself that I can do it, not because I can do it, means that I should do it, And in that very same case, I feel like, yeah, here, too many people have that whole aspect of, yeah, you know what, doesn't matter what we say, what we talk out, or whatever. It can be anything and everything, and it's fine. When in essence, truly, it isn't really like that. There is that degree of, yeah, I know, we can talk about this far better than about anything else. Why not just keep it restrained to those things? But it's like, you could say it like that, I guess. I don't know if it is the proper arguments to make, but to some extent, in this world of so much available information, everyone has the notion that it is fun to talk out all the things that you might get to know through stuff like internet, for example. Not because you cannot know about the stuff through internet itself. I'm not arguing about that, but everyone has just a surface level knowledge about the stuff thanks to what you get to barely see in a quick search, so to speak, And in that encounter, in that occurrence, it is that actually it becomes quite damaging, dangerous, negative to be around others and to normalize it to the extent to which it has been, I guess. To the extent to which nowadays we go about all of that in terms of, yeah, it's fine, doesn't matter. We can be whatever. You don't need to say anything meaningful. I don't need to say anything meaningful. We can just stay in this level of very much surface level understanding, knowledge, whatever, and it's absolutely fine for the both of us. Well, in reality, there is that other extent of I would rather say that, yeah, perhaps it does to some extent matter to know what's going on, what's the point of the things that are happening, and such, and it's this dissolution, I guess you can say it like that, this dissolution of those barriers of, yeah, I can be whatever I want, you can be whatever you want, we don't have to care about what we end up being, because in the end, there is no real point in wondering about any of that, there is no real point in trying to think about any of that, so why worry about that at all? It's better for us to just accept that we might be minimally incapable of doing properly whatever, while not acknowledging the reality of, unavoidably, it is quite bad to try to be so into everything while not being capable of truly having anything of substance exist, so to speak. And this thing is such a normal thing that in the process of trying to talk out all of that, it's very common to see that, yeah, now we don't really have a interest in any of that. So, wait, armor? Gloves, shields, how do I get? I'm looking for belt, this one, so, yeah. This one. Additional item, and I need to choose this one, basically. Good enough. And here I was looking for... At this point, I don't really know, I guess. An armor. Body armor, probably? That seems good enough. This, yeah, that's good. Now, we are at some stuff. Ah, well, so much, nothing. True. And wait. No. Here. This thing. No, this is... I need this. Then... this thing, or... Okay, probably this pathway, then this and this pathway seems... I don't know if it is doable in terms of how easily accomplish all, but seems like the correct way to go about it. Anyways. Wait. I still have to go inside here. Wait. Here. I had all of the chests unopened also. But yeah, I was saying, sorry. I lost myself in the gameplay yet again. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like on a whole it is not just bad or strange, but also necessary to try to have that exist a little bit more, try to bring that back a little bit more. It is, to some extent, wonderful to see it happen, to see it occur, that, yeah, you know what, we can actually truly have the possibility of talking about things, truly have the possibility of discussing those things, and sadly, most of the time it doesn't really occur that we care about all of that at all, that we allow all of that to exist at all. There is this degree of acceptance of, yeah, because I have my phone, I can look up anything quickly, to the extent to which I don't really need to admit that I might have these things that I am bad at, and in doing so, I end up absolutely going over some stuff that, yeah, I might be completely incapable of talking about, so to speak, from the perspective of I'm out of place, simply put. And I don't know, I feel like something about the capacity to, I don't know if it is admit that, talk about that, something along those lines needs to exist. And when it doesn't, it then ends up just becoming even more dangerous than what it actually needs to be. Because then everything goes back to the whole view or aspect of, yeah, you know what? We have no notion that we are in the wrong, no notion that we are incapable of saying anything of substance. We are all speaking from an absolute place of, I wouldn't say stupidity, but simply, yeah, simply put, lack of understanding. And in doing that, in having that exist to such a degree, it happens then that, yeah, then it unavoidably becomes dangerous to say that, yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't possess any importance whatsoever what we say when it actually does quite a lot. And I don't know, I feel like it's strange to see how little we have, how slowly, rather not how little, how slowly, with the passage of time, we have lost the capacity to be in these places, in these conversations, to exist in all of that and whatnot. It's like, yeah, they don't happen as much anymore. Unavoidably, we don't have those conversations as much anymore, but at the same time, whenever they could exist, there is this layer of, do we really need to be in any one particular space talking about any one particular thing? After all, aren't all of us so capable of looking up anything that we want through internet? Why will I tell you that that's not true if we both know that it is such? And in having that other layer of our mission exists, it is that we end up making it look like it truly is the only possible way to go about these conversations, so to speak. It is the only possible way to associate with anything and whatnot, and that is strange. There is, unavoidably, there is the whole aspect of, we are perhaps doing something bad when we allow that to happen. There is a degree of dangerous event occurring whenever the normalization of things goes to the normalization of it. Once again, I don't want to say stupidity, but it's more about grandiosity in terms of, all of us know what's going on and what's being talked about and what's not. In reality, we're not, but to admit that we aren't might as well take so much effort, so much energy, so much of everything that we aren't really having exist anywhere else, that then it truly might be to some extent bad, And then it might truly be to some extent dangerous to try to have it exist like that. And I don't know, I feel like it is, in that sense, sad that we have gotten to this state of things, to this actual state of affairs, so to speak. Also, are you seeing that texture there? Amazing. Give me this. Society remorse. Okay. But I don't know, man. I feel like it always is something strange. And it is, once again, difficult to really speak about it in any quote-unquote proper way. In the end, we are so accustomed to it being this whole thing that there is no need for any thought about that at all. To the degree to which it ends up being damaging, yeah, but it is the normal thing after all, so what can we try to do about that after all? If we have gotten accustomed to things being like that after so long and whatnot, But yeah, I was thinking about it because I know that I can have more deep conversations with the people that I care about, with my friends, with those who are close to me, while in reality, I let it be so much this other entirely, I don't want to say exactly meaningless, but insubstantial conversation most of the time where nothing really occurs, where the conclusion always is, it's how things are. I guess I can give you this much. There is a degree always of annoyance when you try to talk about more difficult stuff. Like, for example, when I try to make the distinction between the political discourse that you can have in terms of, you can talk about politics in an incredibly basic manner, as in the most instantaneous or more contemporary encounters and immediate things that are related to politics, which are the eternal problems and discussions of people, like, I don't know, is this party or this other party or whatever the kind of right thing and whatnot. Or you can have the other area of politics which tries to be a little bit more about the whole, yeah, but we also have this particular set of issues, we have this particular set of desires, goals, and whatnot. And when you have those kind of quote unquote deeper, they are just really different conversations. You end up being confronted directly by the realization that, yeah, and you know what happens? There is nothing that we can do about it. Once again, for example, the best example in all of this is always world hunger. Can we really solve world hunger? At least at in the very basic form of it. It shouldn't be possible for us to try to consider it something that we can actually try to solve or something that we can actually work on. So the conclusion ends up unavoidably always being something about, oh no, yeah, so you know what, it doesn't matter. It doesn't possess any importance. There is nothing to really worry about. There, we don't really need to think about all of that. And because that is the case so much, so often, then unavoidably there is nothing to really try to talk about after so many attempts. If we are always going to arrive at something as discouraging as that realization of, yeah, you know what, there are all of these issues, no one of us can do anything about it, then it becomes a normalized thing of, yeah, you know what, truly, nothing to say, nothing to go for, nothing to really think about, nothing that truly might quote unquote matter, because in the end, even if things didn't matter, how can we actually know that they do? If whenever we try to talk about them, we are confronted by the discovery, by the realization, by that piece of knowledge of, yeah, you know what, doesn't matter. You cannot change the history, you cannot change the current direction of stuff. There is nothing that you or me can do about these things. And it is in the continuous encounter with all of those things that easily you cannot blame anyone who then says, yeah, I may not really want to think out anything that deep. Because it is true that, what are you gonna do, man? What are you actually going to try to do in regards to that? But it's just, I guess, as I always say when it comes to that, I feel like it's first and foremost the normalization of the abandonment of things, of efforts, the lack of interest in everything that makes it look like it is fine for us to not try, to not be there doing something in some way, making sure that things go in some sort of direction or whatever. And that is strange, I guess. Also, wait, I killed this physical. I have no clue yet. Who knows? I have so far no clue what's gonna be the next piece of the wool, but very good so far. I don't even remember exactly what are all the buffs that you win from Thin, so yeah, whatever. Also, Sanctified? What do we have? Hallowed. Hallowed is higher than Sanctified. I see. I guess, okay, it's as a prospect quite. Let me see. Yeah, there is nothing else to really do here, so let me just get out of here. I'm not going to lie, yeah. I enjoy the whole perspective that this game presents with, yeah, you have these gods and deities and whatnot. I enjoy that actually, yeah. I find it quite nice. But I was saying, trying to go back to what I was trying to talk about in the end, it always is to some extent out the whole notion of. But we say that it is fine to give up, we say that it is fine for us to not care and whatnot. It really isn't, man. It really is not the case that it is good for us to not care and it is good for us to not have any interest whatsoever. But it's the normalization of all of those things that end up leading us to the belief that it is so, when in reality it never needs it never needs to be like that. We just, to some extent, I guess, assume that it is fine for things to end up in being that way, that it is fine for things to become that, and that is quite damaging, yeah. But we slowly try to get better at things. Today we realize out the issue, tomorrow we try to work on it. The day after tomorrow perhaps we achieve some realization, some proper piece of knowledge, something that allows us to not be as troubled anymore by those things. Who knows? I don't really care for any of those things, I guess. I just want to tell you que a mí me gusta la Pepsi. Also, thank you, Ramnar, for the raid. Welcome, people. I know you were having. I don't know if exactly fun is the word, but I know you were playing Dark Souls 3, so I hope you liked it. Yeah. I hope you had a great time. Welcome. Give us a go. Terrible. Amazing. I can. Did you know this game? Welcome, people. Welcome, Cyrilism. Ramnor. Welcome, Awesome Night. Welcome, everyone. Also, I don't know. It might be to some degree late. So perhaps you need to rest, Ramnor. You should do that, actually. But let me do my thing. Not my thing. I was out to raid. Sorry. Share the chat? No, shout out. There we go. Amazing. Thank you very much. A conversation. Wow, Ramnor being excited about Garrick's story. Who would have expected that? Amazing. What a guy. Happens. It's fine. He's a quirky fella like that. Very nice. Thank you for the raid. Sorry, I don't know if I say that. And yeah, I hope you had a good stream. I know I say that. Yeah. Right. What's happening? Wow, what a great question. I have no clue. Probably I am playing chess right now, I think. Something like that. I have no clue. No, sorry. Why being straightforward is difficult? No clue. We are playing, as you can see, Path of Exile. What level? Right now, like 60 something. That's everything that I can tell. Space in my inventory. Amazing. But yeah, I don't know. Was I saying something? Yeah, probably. I have no space in my inventory. Give me a second. This thing. What else? This thing? No, this thing. Okay, let me sell this. Wait, quick chill. If you want some guidance for Path of Exile, you should ask me. I have no clue about the game, but I am more than willing to answer your questions by informing myself in the process. Thank you very much for trusting in Vtuber's consultancy thing. Anyways, well, I got 2 skill points. Amazing! What an amazing video game! So we are currently trying to get the world to a point in which I stop dying. I am a glass cannon right now. That's what I'm trying to fix. And I am needing elemental resistances. I guess I'm going to have to go for this thing here. Something else? Around anywhere else? No clue. This thing, probably. No, it's not really good. Okay, anyways. It happens. It's a great game. You should play Path of Exile, it's free. And you're probably went into it. Silver Locket? Ah, I never grabbed this thing. I am amazing. And I still have all the currency on my inventory. I need to stash it away. Okay, anyways, before the raid, I was saying something about human efforts and the whole aspect of it will take me a second, sorry. I don't know, I think I was in a part about how we as human beings have the nature of being people who seem to be incredibly immersed in the whole prospect of the things that we encounter when we are in conversation with others and the things that we see and that we do when it comes down to, this person is going to tell me about these things, and this is the way in which we tend to go about stuff. And one of the many normalized things is, inside of all of those encounters, the whole aspect of it is not really necessary for us to try at all to talk about anything particular, because in the end, most of the time, it is absolutely meaningless to do so. The encounter with reality is not something enjoyable, not because reality is bad by itself, but rather because the moment in which you try to analyze reality, you end up realizing that it is quite a dark world, to the degree to which we as people end up being confronted by the discovery, by the, I guess, the objective notion itself of, most of the things that we have the highest tendency to talk about at all might as well not really lead to anything, because in itself it ends up being true that. Also, where the fuck do I need to go? Huh? Here, okay. And this, okay, I need all of these things need me to go to that place, so whatever. I was saying, basically, that, and while that can to some extent be true, I don't really feel like it is the whole reality of things, so to speak. I always find myself irritated with the whole notion of, you know what, it doesn't matter what you try to talk about, it might be pointless, or even in some cases, even if it isn't pointless, the whole degree to which you have to exert yourself to be capable of doing anything with what you are thinking about, with what you are trying to care for, leads you to the realization that, it might as well take you so much time. But in a way, I guess, you could say it from that perspective. The whole, it's a horrible world, but you could probably utilize something along the lines of the culture of abandonment makes it so that it seems to be good to not actually care about anything of that sort. In reality, unavoidably, it is necessary for us to have the capacity to care about something, to have the capacity to be immersed in anything of this sort, so that we end up, the reason to be, so to speak, the whole way in which one associates with other notions and whatnot, so that we end up, in the end, enjoying the whole journey a little bit more, without just having an existence that is predicated on the more basic functions of life. And it seems to be the case that there are so many, the easy way to think about it is always, when you talk about modernity, you talk about the infinite possibilities, as in almost unending chances of doing something else. And because that seems to be so much the case, truly, there is then no point in trying to get out all of that. And because that gets truly so normalized, it is that we end up reaching the conclusion that, yeah, this thing takes some effort. I don't really know if my efforts are gonna be well spent on that. I will perhaps change from this actual discussion, conversation that we could be having towards something else that might lead to something better as an excuse, really. It's not truly something that leaves people satisfied, so to speak. It simply is the whole notion of, I don't know, man. I feel like unavoidably in the act of trying to so much be something of that sort, trying to embody the whole notion of, yeah, I can be better by abandoning my current self and all my current aspirations and goals, which might be meaningless. There is a lot of the person that dies every single time, and it's not really like there are many processes which currently exist that allow people to get over all of that, so to speak. There is quite a huge tendency for a disconnect between what happens, what could happen, what we experience and what not, and how we try to solve what occurs because of what gets created out of those same sensations and whatnot. And I don't know. I feel like it always is not just the strange, but I know it doesn't out all of that in terms of yeah. Perhaps I myself am also partially participant and partially a reason, I guess, for something of that sort. Something that leaves me dissatisfied in the end. Not because everything is dissatisfying, but rather because I have normalized it to always look like that. There is nothing that will truly be to my liking if in the end everything could be always a little bit better, marginally better, but better in the end. So why care? You know? And I don't know, man. I feel like I wouldn't say it's exactly driving me crazy, but yeah, it's something that I have hanging on my mind lately. Anything here that I like? No. Rare, experience, golden. I am an absolute lover of golden fireflies, so yeah. But I don't know, that's the only thing that I was really talking about so far. I feel like it's difficult to really find a way to go about it in terms of, yeah, what can you conclude? Is there any proper conclusion to all of that? Unavoidably, the issue itself exists, but you understand the issue, you understand also what causes it, but also those causes possess in themselves, generate in themselves another issue, probably, perhaps, and the realization of that also comes with the reality of, and I don't really know if I am willing to solve those issues either. And the more you explore the world, the more you end up seeing that, yeah, so much of this is actually filled to the brim with as many beautiful encounters with this world of chances and with this world of troubles that might get solved. And I guess in essence, to think out a way to solve them is so difficult already. There is, conceptually speaking, one thing that I understand is it's quite horrible whenever you try to talk out these sort of problems to admit that they might be long lasting, that this is not a problem that we have as a generation, let's say, as a culture, as a society, whatever. Just the handful of us, 5, 6, 10 people, and no more, no one else. Just this handful, very specific group. It is the eternally present problem throughout all the places. Something along the lines of the rest of, I guess, it's dangerous to call it that, but many of the other illnesses of that very same sort, in which the person is, in the end, that creature which is haunted by so many of these other similar looking troubles, and it happens with such a high rate, at such a yeah, with such a degree of commonality that in the end, it's quite difficult to say that, yeah, all of this is good, so to speak, all of this doesn't matter. It's a disheartening world, I guess, something like that. But we're not really here to think out things in that way, I guess. We are happy with what we have, so it's fine for things to be like that, even if they cause some trouble in the end. Sometimes it's better to have troubles, but to live than to not have anything at all. It's and even so, no, sorry, that's a cop out answer. Even so, one of the best things I still hate so much about the current state of affairs, I guess you could say, is no, yeah, because this is a long-lasting issue. There is no way in which we will be capable of solving it. There is that very same notion being predicated so much to the degree to which it is right now has probably just become more damaging than anything else. It really isn't beneficial for anybody to be so immersed in, oh no, yeah, we are not going to be capable of solving this problem right now. But at the very least, we can try to work on it ourselves. We can try to do something to perhaps make it not be such an issue for the rest of the world in the future. You know, perhaps we are not going to be geniuses that change the world right now, but we can leave some traces for the rest of the humans who might come later after us, you know? And it's strange to see it so much as the normal answer. No. It wasn't solved. No matter how hard you try, you won't solve it either. Sometimes it's not about solving the thing yourself. Sometimes it's also about, even if I cannot do that, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter absolutely at all. Because we're at least working on it ourselves too, and advancing the whole subject towards somewhere else, making sure that it, at some point in history, gets solved. It's the whole notion, for example, easy question. There have been so many people who have, throughout generations, throughout the history of humanity, died because of stuff like, oh yeah, it's something serious, but it doesn't mean that it isn't the case. Something like cancer unavoidably has been such an unending problem, and yet barely nowadays we have, to some extent, the possibility of believing that we might be capable of solving it right now. We don't even know if it is going to be the proper solution to the problems. We believe that we have an answer, and we have yet to test to see if they are truly so or not. And it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for all of those other things of, yeah, perhaps we will see if we can make it work. You will have to trust on us, and you will have to believe that we might as well make it come true or whatnot. And without those people who also gave their efforts to those things, while acknowledging that, yeah, perhaps I am not going to make it happen, but that I am going at the very least to leave something for the rest who will try to solve it as much as me, as much as I did. All of that is utterly important, and the way in which culturally nowadays we are so unwilling to talk about all of that, the way in which all of that gets actually treated as something bad, because, oh no, yeah, in the culture of selfishness, it is normal for every single one of us to be interested only in ourselves, and if you are not so, you might as well be doing something wrong, because you have no necessity whatsoever to care about anything else besides your own existence. So why care about anything of that sort? Even more if you know that it might not solve the issue entirely. Why work in anything of that? Yeah, once again, why try to do anything of that kind if you know that it might not lead to the final results? Why leave some sort of trace if you know that you're not going to enjoy the benefits from all of that yourself? What's the point? I don't know, man. I guess that's my thoughts. Thank you. I haven't continued to think about that. I don't think I have yet found a proper answer for it. But yeah. Life, I guess. Sometimes things are like that. But I don't know, I guess unavoidably it is, I can say it like this. One of the few things that I always feel with this sort of notion particularly is that to some extent it is true that they might as well be endlessly existent, no matter how much I can find a way to talk out them myself and solve the issue in my particular existence, once again, the moment in which I encounter someone else, the moment in which I talk with others, I will be confronted by the realization that, you know what? I am sadly having in front of me a lot of those other factors that people, the rest of the world, cannot really solve. And even if that is so, it's absolutely fine to some extent. It doesn't really matter. Golden volatile on that. You know what? I will actually skip you this time. It's even if you cannot talk about society as a whole and say that you have solved the issue for everyone else, at the very least, I live my life a little bit better knowing that I have found a solution for the next time that I have to have a conversation with someone else about any kind of stuff of this sort. Even if this issue doesn't stop existing with me, it will, at the very least, in the conversation with others, be something that I can address instead of being at a loss of words. The spirit of negativity that permeates so much of our current existence doesn't need to be perpetuated by the encounter of that very same notion, by that very same degree of way of thinking about life and whatnot, and making it look like it is actually fine. The capacity to actually, I guess, the whole aspect of simply being able of talking about stuff, you know? I can argument about stuff a little bit better once I understand how it works and why it might be so and whatnot. But I don't give myself the opportunity to do so. I might as well never reach any solution for this kind of thing once again. But it's whatever. The point is, at the very least, we're not really troubled by all of that, I guess. It might be a quote-unquote issue throughout life, but it's not a final issue or whatever, so it's all good. Also, when am I gonna get rid of all the fucking wisps, fireflies that I grabbed? And also, I need to take a tiny break, drink something. I haven't. So far, it has been only my schizophrenia driving me to keep speaking. I hydrate before I pass out or something. Elemental resistances. Elemental damage. I am not using elemental damage. This thing? Yeah. I don't know. No, wait. This thing. Yeah. Okay. That. Now the question is, where to next? I'm hearing something anyways. Okay. There we go. Good enough. So, where are we right now? Elemental resistances, evasion rating. I am not using evasion at all right now. Let me. I think I have an idea. The issue is getting there, but no. This is fire resistance. That's the issue. This. We have. Okay, I have this thing here. I need more held this 10%. 10% is good, I guess. I don't really I don't really know, eh? Something tells me that it might not actually be that good, but who knows? Okay, let me do something quick. Defense. The defense is almost maxed, so I am actually good in that sense. I have no chaos resistance whatsoever though, so that's an actual problem. But doesn't matter. Maximum life? Yeah. I need actual numbers for my life. I need, like, this thing gives you X amount of life. Not just increased, but like plus X amount of life. There is nothing like that actually. Good. I am kinda screwed actually. Something like this, plus 30 to maximum life. I could otherwise? What the fuck was that? I have all of these things. And I have a soul here, I have a soul here, I have this other thing here. It would be so random to have that be a build, like, it works. Is it really the build that I want to have? I don't think so, but it could work. Okay, is this plus X to maximum life, so... You know what? I have been looking at it for like 5 minutes at this point. Let me give up on that. Thank you. And this, and this. This. Anything else? This. What is the thing that makes noise? Amazing. A tiny golem or something like that. Beautiful. Turbo. Yeah, I have no clue yet. It always, I guess, leaves me to some extent with a sour aftertaste or whatever. But unavoidable. After all, it's way too complicated to know which pathway to take, so to speak. Also, I wanted to do something related to this particular mechanic. I think here is where you find it for the first time. Somewhere in this map, ultimatum has to be available. So, the first encounter with that, crazy. Here, yeah, here we go. Ultimatum, my beloved. Trial master. You. Begin? No. Don't begin. I need to pick it like this. For the remainder, Damage taken. Cloud. Inflicting ruin with its melee attacks. I guess. Fail on reaching 7 ruin. Understandable. Okay. Whatever you say, my brother. Yeah. Okay, we have ultimatum, so. Minions, no, monsters, block. Monster type will apply a ruin. Don't give me fucking ruin, man. I actually want nothing to do with the ruin. But, okay, I have no clue if this is like the lack of the... Perhaps it is the working, perhaps it is the ultimatum. I am like, yeah, okay. I am 10 levels ahead of the current area level, so that has something to do with this. An invulnerable totem will appear that imbues both its allies and its enemies with a speed and powerful elemental damage benefit. Causes enemies to take an energy per second. Okay. Understandable. This thing is Noxus Catalyst. Wow. You know what? Yeah, give me that. Make the Chaos Cloud as inhumanly difficult to deal with as possible. I am fine with that at this point. As long as it actually is going to kill me. It moves so fast, actually. It doesn't matter. We are all good. It just takes some time to adapt to it. And if I die, I die. It's whatever. I mean, part of the fun of Ultimatum is knowing that you're going to die at some point, I guess. No. Actually, I'm going to retreat after the next... Yeah, no. Take rewards. Thank you. I'm not going to kill myself because of that. What an encounter. But yeah, there we go. That's Ultimatum. Works to some extent. And shall we have Ina also? Good. So if I was 10 levels behind, I will probably not be capable of doing this area, I'm pretty sure. And the problem is, I can be as much as overleveled as I want over here, but in ahead, I don't think I really can. I mean, when you start mapping, you rapidly enough reach the point in which you are forced to not be overleveled. Can't happen. But we are fine anyways. Also, no, wait. Can I sample over here too? No. I can't, really? I almost fucking died. Can't happen. So, I have no clue, man. That was my first thought. I I guess that was the only thing that really happened today the most. That I found myself thinking about all of that. It simply was, yeah, the only thing close to me, so to speak, that happened. It was, as always, it's so annoying to be talking with someone and realize both of us really don't care about what we are saying. There is so much nothing going on right now, but I don't even know. Sometimes one I can accept that. I don't even know why. I can try to assume why it might be the case that yeah, we are in an absolutely deplorable state, going on so much out absolutely meaningless stuff, but the real encounter with yeah, these are the true reasons, these are the proper motives, is not only difficult, sometimes way too in a way, so to speak, complicated to have to see. I cannot really afford to push the buttons of someone else so much as to make it instantaneously apparent, you know? You can ask, you can do it. You should not do it. But you can. But once again, you should most certainly avoid doing anything of that sort, and I know it's difficult accepting that to some extent. Her mask? Well. Okay, good enough. Okay, here we go, level 2. Give me my stairs, brother. Stairs? There we go. Stairs? Stairs? What's up? Can I take my stairs? There we go. I don't know, man. Sometimes it's strange to think about stuff of that sort. The normal thing is, yeah, you know what, it doesn't matter what happens. But isn't it also part of what we do to try to make it happen that we are not really being bored to death between those who we say we care about and whatnot? It's once again, I said before, the whole aspect of, oh yeah, you know what, it doesn't matter. We can be dying of boredom here. It's all good. Really? I would love to talk about some stuff sometimes. But I don't know, I guess you can easily say it. Well, in reality, the moment in which you try to make it happen, you always encounter the reality of, yeah, this person pushes back absolutely hard to the degree to which it obviously shows that no matter how much I try to demonstrate that I care, I might as well not get anything out of them. I might as well not find anything of importance in that place, you know? And it's that much can be, I guess, also complicated to think about to some extent. Because yeah, it is in some ways the issue of what happens, but also the issue of what cannot happen that troubles the person, of what cannot truly be said or whatever, and all of that is strange too. But such is life. Sometimes things just turn out to be like that, and there is nothing to really do. There is nothing to really try in regards to, oh no, yeah, the current situation. It can be like that, and it's fine. The point is not letting, because it is the situation, become the only thing that matters at all about anything. But anyways, life is a mystery, I guess. Also, I didn't grab this. Amazing. Also, like, how do I even solve? I'm still asking myself, how do you even go about trying to solve something like that? Oh yeah, enemies are immune to physical damage. Like, how do you address that with a proper build? Wow, I can skip all of that? You can just skip that? Okay. Understandable. Magnificent, actually, but... What the hell? It's not here. Okay. What do you mean? Binding, solitaire, hindered. No. None of them works for me. Okay. We kinda... No. I was gonna say we kinda read it. Not yet, actually. Because these maps are anything but short, so physically impossible to get through all of this stuff rapidly enough. Oh, yeah. But anyways, it's part of the experience still, so it's good, I guess. I can jump here, really. There we go. Amazing. And now there are two exits. What? What did the game mean by that? I think, yeah, there are not two exits. There is just the area of, yeah, the arena. My beloved arena. Okay, we're gonna see. Probably, if I instantaneously die, the build is trash, because, as always, I failed building something about it. Seems to be working enough, I guess. Working well enough, somehow. But yeah. Okay. No, we're absolutely good, actually. The exit to Act 8 is now open. Beautiful. No, wait. You dropped something? What did you drop? Ah, nothing. You. Damage taken. No. Damage taken over time. Wow. So meaningful. Yes, no? Is that the spirit singing? Whatever you say, you know. Meet who at the what? Ah. The area embraid. Wait. I can't skip work here? Like... No, whatever, I cannot jump over there, yeah. It would be crazy to have the capacity to do that. It would be so good, but unreasonable enough. Yeah. Anyways. Absolutely anyways. I don't know, man. I feel like sometimes things are just strange. It is a strange world after all, but it is so much taking us a normal place. Even so, it's like it doesn't even matter. when in reality so much of it is so absolutely weird to actually look at in terms of, oh yeah, these are how things quote unquote work, these are how things have gotten to be, how we have ourselves gotten accustomed to them being, and I don't think that it needs to be how most of this world operates. But in the exploration of any question is the encounter with the sad reality that, yeah, perhaps not all answers are available to us, so who knows? Sometimes I am there. Okay. Sometimes it's out also just acknowledging that things are whatever, and it's fine for them to be like that. I have a full inventory. Great. Watch out, the next thing that I encounter is a tier 10 thing that I cannot pick up. No. Okay, true. Sin. What do you say? Shut up. Talk to Kurai? Who? Ah, in the Rock Harbor. Okay. Whatever. Goodbye. Yo. Sell. Yes. What is this? Just chance to block a spell damage? That's everything that you do? Really? Bruh. What an amulet. And you? What do you have? Nothing special, right? Yeah. Undiluted sacred mana. I have a sanctified. Whatever. So, we could actually try to do a lab if it was for things available to us. Who knows? So many possibilities. The world entirely summed up in all of those things. Take less? No. Damage reduction, something like that. What is this? Maximum damage reduction for any damage type is 50. 100% chance to defend with 200% armor. Do I need that? I don't think so. And this thing? I am absolutely lost right now. I thought I had more levels. I am already level 65. I have no clue where to go next with all of this. Things are getting complicated. Difficulties arise in existence, but that is fine, I guess. Man, no clue. Absolutely, truly lost right now. Feeling aimless. can happen. You have, yeah. I have stuff to actually save. Also, I also know, like, exactly where do things get saved right now? No, I should not sell any of the currency, actually. I need to save it. There we go. And this thing I can sell. Yeah. I don't even know, man. Let me look up one more thing. Attack speed? What gives me attack speed? Quote unquote, easily accessible. 200. 10%. Increased stun duration. Perhaps. I mean, no clue. Attack skills, no. This axe mastery. This could be great, actually. Is this the way? Is this really the direction to go? I think I need more defense, brother. Something tells me that I'm still weak as hell. No. It's so. Analysis paralysis, my beloved. How much I have been missing you. Not know what to do is the best part out this, I guess. There we go, 2000 HP now. Minimally good, but not solved yet. No clue. Here, do you have anything to deliver? No. You know what? We're gonna do the. We're gonna try. I don't even know if we can. We're gonna try to do the next trial. I don't even know. I hope it doesn't allow me because I'm pretty sure I'm going to die based on the. No, it's level 55. Wow. So probably we are 10 levels above. We should be more than capable of doing it. Okay. We have supposedly no reason to fail here. No. I don't know, man. I am feeling doubtful today, I guess. That's my current state. But it's about trusting the process, I guess. Be it whatever. It shall take as long as it needs to take, and it is going to be fine. I don't know. This is an exit, wait. This is not the exit, right? Like. No, this is, wow. Amazing. Okay, first encounter. Good enough. Double resistances. No, don't care. What's up, brother? Let's see. Here comes the moment of truth. Do you insta-kill me? Do I survive against you? Why is my totem not here? True. Okay, that thing, I think it didn't even hit me, but it didn't kill me also, so good enough. Okay, there we go. First encounter done. Good enough, amazing. I remember, yeah. I remember I did the first one a little bit more by myself, but that one I knew I was gonna do, like, not exactly nowadays. This whole thing is incredibly fucking annoying to do. Because it's so long. So it takes so much time to actually explore entirely. But I did the first trial by myself, that's the point. But this one, I don't know, man. I feel like, do I really have any reason as to why I feel like the wood is going bad? I'm not really dying that much. I guess, I don't know, probably feeling doubt about things going well, something like that. It's strange for things to be going that well, let's say. It's hard for the world to be disaligned with my intentions. I guess current location, wrong location. But sometimes life is also about learning to feel great. Because things are great in themselves, but one cannot really allow themselves to feel like they are. And the issue comes from learning to, I wouldn't say relax, but simply, yeah, settle down into the world. And just admire whatever it is. Because it is a beauty to behold that, yeah, now we have the possibility to do what we want. And that shall be something to be joyous about. But as always, to look for danger everywhere, to be constantly alert in a state of chaos, brought to your very knees by this universe is damaging. And it's even more difficult to stray away from that, so by the way, I did absolutely know that was there, eh? Don't even doubt me. But who knows? I feel like... Wait, can I jump from here? Great! Amazing! I can jump from those places. What a horrible thing it was before to try to jump out of that. Just to find out that you absolutely cannot. Oh yeah. Let me... Okay, through. What a beauty. Can I skip so much of this? Finally. Perhaps this time it's not going to be such a pain. Perhaps. Previous memories make it look like it truly is hard, when in reality, sometimes the world is much more acceptant of stuff. Also, crafting recipe? Ah, already unlocked. Okay. Whatever you say, brother. You, my man. Come here. And a portal. It should insta-die. There we go. Amazing. Isaru's dying so rapidly, actually. Ow! What a beauty. We have it in the bag. Doubtfulness, doubtfulness. Every single thought of mine is filled with that. There is nothing to trust. There is nothing to be sure about. The world is so reassuring, but I cannot let my guard down. I cannot let it be. I cannot accept that things are looking great, because doing so will be the same as to admit that, yes, now things are not anymore dangerous, and who can afford that much in the current state of situations. But yes, we're actually doing amazingly well. I guess certainly when you have nothing to look for besides the very end of this, it doesn't take that long. And that's actually well. Eh? You can jump there? What are you talking about? Okay. That was weird for a second. Do you wanna let me jump over there? Do you wanna I love how you could visually clearly see that there was something higher than that, but no. You had to take the damage. Even if it unavoidably didn't kill me, I had to see that. It was part of the lesson or something like that, I guess. You. Are you the end? No. You! Oh my god. Beautiful. What a beauty. There we go. Okay, we're done, basically. Oh no, so many traps. Who could have believed that? Such a dangerous place. We are done, man. Isaro, no, don't kill me, Isaro, please, please. Beg you. No, no, no. It's over. I have died. There we go. Amazing. What a beauty. Only one chest? Who cares? There we go. And do I have any rock here? I don't have. Add +4. Let me use cyclone. 3 million experience. Do I do that? Do I need to do that? No. Okay, here. The altar of ascendancy. Where are you? Here. There we go. Finally. And this. And now the next one is. I had one in mind. Which one was it? Chieftain? Berserker? Inherent loss. More damage. This is a multiplier of damage, basically, yeah. Cooling strike? I don't really need that. Damage cannot be reflected. I already have that, so it soon needs to take. Cannot take reflected physical damage. You? Melee hits. Fortify. What? Fortifying grants an amount of fortification based on the damage of the hit. Take 1% less damage from hits per fortification. Maximum 20 fortification. Fortification lasts 6 seconds. Understandable. I don't need that anyways. Anything here that matters? Increased reservation efficiency. No. Maximum mana. Summoned totems. No. Offering? No. So, this is the only good direction actually, yes. Yeah. Yeah, no. Nothing else to really go for, I guess. Gain a... No, wait. There is something like a gain a... Flasks. Gain charges. No. You nearby allies. Have a tailwind. Yeah. So, I guess this, yeah. I guess this is the way then. Good enough for me, yeah. And I have this because I entered the power charge on critical, which I suppose I defense, miscellaneous, offense. Miscellaneous? What is the possibility? Charges? No. Carrot chance. What is the carrot chance? Main chance. Chance to hit. Okay. 67? Amazing. Why do I have such a high carrot chance? What? Amazing. We are absolutely good, actually. Okay. That's that. And now, wait. With this last trial, I get this. The Marauder Ascendancy. Good enough. Which also gives me... No. This. Berserker Ascendancy. Okay, sorry. Understandable. So that was... What the fuck? It didn't take even like 20 minutes to Labyrinth? Amazing. What a beauty when you actually have an objective. Grand scale of steel. Is there anything meaningful here? Probably. What an amazing quiver. Let me sell you for 18 pieces of... for 18 alchemy shards. Even if you're the best quiver that you can get from the thing, I will not look at you. Doesn't matter. Okay, here we go. We are now... What the fuck are we even, like... Can you throw... Act 8, okay. I somewhat remember this. Somewhat. There is like, wait, I'm looking for the enemies first. Not the enemy, sorry, the golem. With the door or something like that. That shows you it was the other way, right? So many drops. Also power charges. Power charges give me critical strike. I need... Fuck. Perhaps I chose wrong. I don't really care about power charges. I don't take reflected damage, which is good, but at the same time, I have power charges, which I don't utilize at all, so... The point is to complain, you know, the point is to make an issue out of every single thing. I have solved a problem, but I didn't solve it entirely as I wanted. It wasn't an entirely a rotund solution, so now I have to make sure that everybody understands my annoyance, because life is about the perfectionism of everything. It cannot be about the joyous encounter with some things that perhaps do not get fully solved always. It has unavoidably to be about the other problems, the other things that seem to be somehow annoying. Even if unavoidably I find myself not at all affected by them, I have to act like I am. Because, oh god, how can I afford to not be like that? Also, what the fuck is illusion? What? What the fuck is that? Why did I gain that? Can't happen. Beautiful. Me when I gain stuff out of nowhere for no reason whatsoever. Also, this wasn't the way even. Doesn't matter. You. Mirage, golden. Reward will be rare boots. Don't care. We're absolutely good, actually. What a beauty. What a wonderful beauty. And something dropped, but I am not going to look back. No, wait. Ah, here is where the golems exist, I guess. Where the golems lie? No, not really. Or is it? No. Also, what are these things? Mook Vortex. Understandable. Such a visually beautiful game, but at the very same time so impossible to understand sometimes. Also, what the fuck is that dead end? Whatever. More acceptance of whatever they are than me wondering what they are actually. I have no clue. I think like we're gonna do like 3 or 4 more maps, but really, I feel like I don't know, not much today. We are good enough. We gained like 5 levels, so that should be good. Also. Here. Ah! Oh my god, what the fuck? Please tell me that you're a boss. Yeah! Do it, Retival, my king. What's up with you? These areas are chaos damage. They do no damage whatsoever. Amazing. And you, what do you offer to me? Let's see. No, wait, no. Here. 1% additional physical damage reduction for each hit you have taken up to a maximum of 5. Okay. Understandable. So that's how things are, huh? Who is speaking? Shut up, I don't care. Oh, wait. You. Who was actually speaking? Like, what? Who was talking to me? Chirruping in my ear. You, this is the area that I cannot go to, supposedly. The quay. Yeah. No, wait, what? I can. Like. What? No, wait. Oh my god. You, through. Which one is the right one? This one? No. This is the right one. I remember. I have played this game before, so I know. So the one that I have to go to, before actually going to the right place, is here. Good enough. Around the promenade, wow. Beautiful. How am I so lost with the hotkeys? Wait, both of them take you to different places. Understandable. Did he even come here before? What's here? Ah. I think I remember. I'm not as lost. Ah, yeah, you have to do both sides to finally reach the end area. Okay, okay. I remember this, yeah. The random sun and moon reference. Why is that a recurring theme? Like, why does every single game rely on having a sun and moon temple? Like, what's the point? Oh yeah, you know, because symbolically speaking, we as human beings have always been connected. I don't care about being connected to the sun, the moon, the stars, whatever. Give me something more direct. Give me something more violent. I mean unavoidably in this case. It does make absolute sense, taking into consideration that most of this stuff comes from the aspect of, yeah, you have this, because you also have the whole aspect of, with the sun and the moon, you get the possibility of speaking out the outer gods and whatnot, and the external influences, and the whole Lovecraftian influences and whatnot. So, if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't have the possibility of, once again, contemplating that whole plethora of concepts, I guess. That's why it becomes useful to actually think out them in that sense. But I don't think that's really the point. Like, I don't think that we're utilizing them for that exactly. They do exist to some extent, but not like we really care. Also, I failed the door. What a beauty. It's like, I mean, to some extent, it's bad to say it, but to some other, isn't it like, to some extent, meaningless to have so many references to stuff? In the end, do we really try to appreciate anything of that sort? I don't find myself really thinking about the symbolical value of what I think, what I see, and what's not. I can understand it, but it doesn't mean that I actively think about it. I wouldn't spend my days interpreting what I see, or whatnot. I don't even think out the stuff in the sense of, oh yeah, you know what a beauty. This is what an absolutely meaningful and deep message this has. I don't really care about that. I don't really have it in my mind, you know? Also, what do you have? Mirage, Boron, Sewell Cache, nothing, basically. So, goodbye. Salon Gebaldo. Isn't that the actual way? Here? No. No, it isn't. No, it is. Ah. That's the entrance to both temples, which is blocked off because you have to do before that both of them. So, wow, you hear it? You have to go through the whole rite of gathering the essences of the deities before getting to channel them directly in any way. Otherwise, you are not worthy of doing that yourself. You will never have the possibility of talking to the gods unless you go through the rituals which allow you to establish a connection with the divine in a sacred and perfect way that only a handful can perform, and that only a very, very select few can actually embody in any way. You see, we haven't lost the rituals. Unavoidably, we still have them, just shaped in a different way. I mean, I was saying all of that as a joke, but at the very same time, isn't to some degree that very same thing still existent? In a way, the symbolical value got, so to speak, moved on to the whole concept of there are no more deities, but there are celebrities, and once again, celebrated figures and whatnot, and the whole aspect of, yeah, you know what, I can now talk with my... The word that we would utilize in this particular context would be Oshi. The more proper word will be something along the lines of, yeah, now you have the possibility of talking with your idol, so to speak, and being with them and having that connection. And instead of, I mean, it is still a ritual, the whole aspect of, yeah, you have to be there and you have to make sure that you maintain your rights to talk with them and show that amongst everyone else you are willing to wait for as long as it takes. The whole meet and greet aspect, which in itself isn't really bad, but it does exist under that quote-unquote pretense. Not a pretense, but I don't know. It's life is strange, and it is bad to worry about those things. In the end, we are not here to really have it in our minds if we partake in any ritual or not. We just do whatever happens in life, and we are to be happy about whatever it is that we do, not to really question why such things occur, just to accept them as such and be glad that we get to see them at all. Hector Titusius? Wow. There is a trial of ascendance in this area too? What? So fast? What the hell? Amazing. Okay, at this point I have already really forgotten most of the stuff. I remember only the maps from this very late into the game. But here I am absolutely lost. But yeah, anyway, sorry, I spaced out either. I was fine. I don't know, man. I feel like you could say that symbolically how that whole representation still exists and whatnot. I don't feel like it really serves the same purpose. To some extent, unavoidably, it isn't the case that we work under those same conditions and whatnot. We simply do whatever we can. And we end up being happy about it, so to speak, you know? But, yeah, I feel like there is something out that sort of thing, that's with that same sense of existence, basically. And it's interesting to see that it is, because I don't know, I feel like, I mean, okay, whenever we talk about idols and whatnot, there is this whole thing to accept. To some extent, it is an absolutely wrong assumption to say that, oh yeah, we have transported the idolization of gods onto normal people. There is an absolutely facetious argument being made there when you talk about, oh yeah, now I adore instead of a person, instead of a god, a person. Nope. While that can happen in some cases, in so many other instances, that does not occur like that. I like somebody, but not like, oh well, this deity of mine. Wow. No, that doesn't occur. Also, there was a side area. Can I get my side area unlocked? How do I reach that side area? Huh? Huh? But yeah, I was saying, it's the whole aspect of, oh no, yeah, idols exist in this way, and now the people adore them instead of any actual god, because to love a god is to do something far more difficult. Not really. There is, once again, the comparison from idol to this other form is in itself a somewhat different thing, a somewhat different notion entirely, and you don't really idolize the same thing with the same strength. There is something of value when you say that, yeah, this thing is being idolized, not honestly speaking. When the intensity changes, it doesn't become at all the, no, yeah, this is the ritual that we have lost, that we have transported in this other thing. It's an absolutely disingenuous thing to say that, yes, no, actually, we have lost all of that, and now we are only capable of having this much or that much or whatever. No. Also, why do I take no further damage? What's up with that? But, I don't know, I feel like, in the end, it's not like we, to some extent, okay, we didn't really lose the capacity to talk about all of that, but we have lost the capacity to understand it, it is true that we have lost ourselves the interest in deities and whatnot, and that already makes it so that whenever I try to mention them, it's weird in the culture in which gods have now lost all meaning and in which things have now transmuted into this different form of far simpler shapes, and in which the essence of the world might as well be mortal chaos from the rational mind and whatnot, where everything becomes that more simplistic rationalization of existence instead of this deeper connection with, once again, the divine and whatnot. It's truly complicated to say, like, I know, we are in this world now for these things. I don't think so. Unavoidably, nowadays we don't care about that as much. It's not like universally there is no desire to know, but even if you can understand it, it doesn't mean that you care. Once again, that's the most important thing here. What the hell am I? What? What? I went the whole way around? Understandable. Where am I? Am I like here in the middle connected or something? Whatever, loco. What a game. What a way to connect areas, I guess. And also, yeah, I should have probably died there. The fact that I didn't shows that the wood is minimally operational. Also, can you stop stunning me? I am going to have a meltdown. And there was nothing indeed. Beautiful. I came here for the sake of killing the enemies, I guess. I don't know. No clue whatsoever. Ah! Full inventory. Yo. So many side missions. Whatever you say, man. What did I just grab? Increased global physical damage, understandable. Wait. It's kinda good actually. Wait. Increased damage. Attack speed. Strength and dexterity. Increased global physical damage. Attack speed. 17,000. This one is 17,000 too, but okay, no. Like only 200 of difference, so the other one is still better. Goodbye, I guess. This thing requires level 62. Whatever. And you? What? And Kerrigan, yet again? What do you want, man? My god. What a video game full of stuff. Here, give me this. And let me get off the save point. The checkpoint, quote unquote. The grain grade somewhere around here. Has to be for sure. Has to be around here. It isn't here, I'm pretty sure. I went to the entirely wrong building. Actually, yes. But wait. There is something over here, like... What did the game mean by that? here, I guess. Yeah, over here. Me trying to find a way out just to keep getting lost. It's not here either. Kill the gremlin, legionaries. Whatever you say, man. Yes. Why does the audio become muffled out of nowhere, huh? And I did a side quest. Okay, I guess. If you say so, for sure. I did so many side quests. You're so right, Umfi. I'm just a blinded killer following my instincts and destroying every single thing that I see. I'm not somebody who usually be happy to see all, but if you said that you're well. So, lobby is there. No, wait. Lobby is there. Side quest here. Find the Ankh of Eternity. Me when I have to do a side quest. You know what would be good? I need to have the wiki at hand. Easily available to know if this is even worth doing. But sometimes you don't have to rely on that. You can only rely on what you can see, what you can find out by. What the fuck was that? On what you can find out by yourself. And in this case, who knows? What is that voodoo ball doing? Ah, this thing. That guy is. What a combo, what a crazy combo. Yeah. Anything else? Mirage, a rare, gold. Neither of them is good. Thank you. Me, when visual destruction happens so much. What a great game. All that happens really score, what? Whatever. Say that we're happy with it and that's it. Also, wait, I lost my... No. I lost my tiny golem, man. Wait, here. Here is the mission, Here we have it. Not there. Here? Wait. Is this what... Intentionally? I don't think so. Ah. What a game. What a beautiful game design sometimes. Find Clarissa at the quay. What? Find who? Where? Okay. Let me... Oh my god, I guess. Oh my god, ticket wall. Do I not drop something else? Ah. Here? I have no clue where to find the person that they told me to look for. Okay, this is... I think this is literally the exit, so... No. Isn't it? Like, wait. Toxic Coindates. Are we sure it isn't the exit? Yeah, it is the exit, right? So where do I find who Clarissa? Somewhere. Somewhere around here. Somewhere, for sure. Probably here, seeing all the thousands of enemies. No. Whatever. Can happen. Who knows where Clarissa is? Okay, this area seems minimally Clarissa looking like, so time to step rise by my steps yet again. Wow. You're here, Clarissa? No. Me when I have to look for Clarissa. But anyways, yes. It's part of the experience. What's up, bro? I gained a level just because of all this absolutely unnecessary exploration. Thank you. It was worth it, I guess. Here. Clarissa has to be here, right? Like, there cannot be a random place in the middle of nowhere where there is no Clarissa whatsoever. Like, or there can absolutely be one, you know? Resurrection site. Ah, here we go. There we go. Defeat the Chambish. Oh my god. I have to... No, I don't have to defend Clarissa, like... Wow. Such a mechanically complicated place. And what's the lore for all of this? Great question. I mean, unavoidably, it uses the Yang and whatnot. Like you can say, ah no, yeah, it's also original. Not really. The Yang is not really something original, you know. Talk to Clarissa. What's up, Clarissa? You give me I was about to fucking hate you. Give me a skill point. Give me a skill point and I'm going to retire have to continue. Beautiful. Exactly what I need. There we go. Beauty. In its entire glory. Beauty. Very good, okay. Then I got what I wanted. So. I need something to maximum life. The question is where to find it. I think that there are almost none of those. This one has one. This one? No. Then to strengthen. This one. 30. Okay. Okay, I see. So I actually have to go there now. Can I go here? I don't need to go here. Okay, so for level, what level we are? Level 67. Wow, it was all intentional. You don't get it. Get another passive skill point? Amazing! It was also worth it? It was also absolutely worth it. Wow. Which one is faster? This one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, yeah, this one will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay, understandable. But don't I want this? Supposedly. Who cares? Okay, yeah, we are good enough. I got to play to my heart's content, so nothing else to really do so far. We are gonna be continuing tomorrow. I don't really know if tomorrow I will be here, but if I get to be here tomorrow, yeah. And if I don't, whenever we can, probably. So yeah, very good one, but we are done so far. Yes, we are finally back on track to some degree. Yeah. Okay, this is it so far. Thank you. Now, here. Yeah, not much else to really add, I guess. We are good enough. It was a very chill day, so to speak. So nothing to say. Thank you. It was good. Have a very good rest of your day, evening, night. See you next time. Thanks for everything. As always, thanks for the time, for the patience, for the interest. And yeah, whenever we get to be back here, we will. Until then, take care. All of the stuff. Hydrate, be responsible, aspire to do something, what's not. And even if we don't get to see ourselves next time, that doesn't matter. Thank you for everything. It was very good. So yeah, have a good one. Bye bye. And this time I don't really need to add that much to the YouTube one. I actually do remember that it said level 67. There we go, saved. So that's it. Goodbye to you, YouTube viewer.